You want to know how Kenyan I am? Good afternoon. Habari zenyu. Habari zenyu tena. I love the energy. And you know, one of the things I wish I was your age. I wish I was your age. My name is Amos Ngahu. Nani hapa ashainisikia, ashainiona, ashaipatana na mimi mahali? Let's see. Where? TikTok, eh? Okay. Watu wa TikTok wainue mkono? Okay. Watu wa Instagram? Wababa wenzangu wa kanisa, kuna wababa huko? It's so nice to be here. Very nice to be here. Now, how many of us want to be rich? I want to hear. That is your goal, to be rich, eh? Now, I'm sorry I'll disappoint you. Because the reason why I'm standing here is because I've been so broke and I lived to tell the story. Nipigieni makofi. I have also made a lot of money that I never thought I would, but I have also lost. Tumeelewana? So today I just want to share with you very simple stories about my life and money. Look at your neighbor. Mwambie pole. This guy was not coming here to make us rich. He's about to challenge us to make better decisions with our money. Sindio? Now, those of you who followed me on social media, what's the name of my page? Yes. Oh, Mesama Money Clinic. I'm about to give a gift to the most active person. Yes, madam. Money gossip. Money? Do you know why it's called money gossip? Because young people like you, one time we were talking and they told me, why don't you be talking to us about money? But we don't have enough to pay you. So I told them, it's okay, we can talk about money. But even that money we don't have. So I told them we will talk about that money in its absentia. So hence money. You understand? So we gossip money that is yet to come. Amen? Amen. I want to ask you something. And this is going to be a very interactive session. Hamtajua time ikienda, I promise you. Sawa sawa. How many of us here are in high school? Or let me, mikono chini. How many of us here are below 18? Mikono juu. All right? Tunaenda tukiongezeka. How many of us here are below 21? How many of us here are below 24? Including those who are under 18. Below 24. How many of us here are below 27? Everybody, yeah? Okay. Now, I want to take 3 issues that I want us to address, or one of your expectations, because I'm realizing some of us wanted to learn how to be rich. I want to take 3 expectations that you have. Quick one. Mkono juu. I said I'll have a reward for the most active person. So, any expectation that you have, yes. Ngoja kidogo boss. Hebu simama. Pigieni huyo jamaa makofi. What's your name? Otieno. Otieno amesema hatutakaa na amani this afternoon. Amesema apige luku, si ndio? Ananipatia compare. Hey, Otieno, we are sorry. We apologize. I apologize on behalf of everyone. So what is one expectation that you have? Pardon? You want to learn more about investment. That's a very good answer. Mpigeni makofi. Anybody else from this side? The mic will come to you. Anybody on this side? Nyinyi mko sawa? Ile ndio saidi ya wadosi. Wametosheka, wamecross miguu. Tumalize tuende, si ndio? Okay, this side, any question, any expectation? All right. So, please stretch your hands towards me. Muniombe kindani ndani, si ndio? Lord, we thank you and bless you for this opportunity. Lord, every hand that is stretched, may you, Lord, meet their expectation, whether young or old, whether unrealistic or realistic, Lord, that it is you who plants the seed of hope and dream in us, that we pray, oh God, that whatever we learn, we will apply, and when we apply, it will be for your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So my name is Amos Ngahu. I am a basketballer. I've played basketball for the last 20. And I'm not just a good, I'm not just a basketballer, I'm a good basketballer for the last 21 years. And I am a father of 2. 8-year-old and one turned 10, so the other one is turning 8 next month. So I have 2 boys, Wema and Fadhili. So inaitwa Zaburi 23 ama na 6. So hakika Wema na Fadhili zitanifua. So when I'm going to church, those 2 jamas are following me. Tumelewana? And one of the things that I love about God is that he has everything to say about everything. True or not true? What does God say about your money? And I liked the person who spoke before me before lunch. They mentioned something. What was that scripture? That for God, through God, and for God, isn't it? Including your money. Including your money. And I'm sure a lot of you are here wondering, sasa tunakuja kuambiwa mambo ya pesa, we've not even started earning. True? Now, I started by saying there's one thing I like about, or I'm liking, or I'm wishing today, is that if I was your age. Okay? Now, I'm sure, doing what I do, people think I am a graduate from Harvard. Amen? I'm a graduate from? No. Kuna shule inaitwa School of Hard Knocks. Have you ever been broke? Even the poor people call you broke. Yeah? That is where I've been. So back then, I'll start with primary so that nisirudi nyuma tena. Sindio? So that you understand where I'm coming from. So I've grown up in Thika. And in one of the schools I schooled was Thika Muslim Primary School. And what happened? After my elder 2 siblings finished, baba yangu akaona hakuna kitu ninashika hapo. So they decided to transfer me to a private school. Okay? Now this private school nikaenda, what happens in our culture, when hushiki kitu, you're forced to do what? And yeah, you guys are young, eh? In our days, we were being forced to repeat. All right? So instead of going to class 7, I went back to class 6. And what happened? Things just started happening. I used to be a small, chubby boy. All of a sudden, I grew tall. All right? And what happens? My confidence level grew because I was taller than everybody else, and I started realizing I was gifted in sports. And because of that confidence, hesabu ikaanza kuingia kwa kichwa. So in 1997, if you go check the 1997, how many of us here were born? 97. So 1997, the marks were out of 700, isn't it? So I scored a whooping 551. Simunipigia makofi. Mnaniona kwa media nikipatia watu story. Hard work and determination will make you win in life. Sindio? Mnaniona kwa interview. So that was me. So instead of going to Mangu High School, I found myself going to Kagumo High School in Nyeri. Okay? Now, because of my disappointment, what happened? I discovered I'm gifted in basketball. So from Form 2, sema kucheza basketball, until I came out of high school with a C+. Ushaangaliwa vibaya na mzazi? You guys know what I'm talking about, eh? Hakuangalii lakini una sense kuna vile anakuangalia na madharau. Are we together? How many of us have seen that? Unaona mzazi yenyewe, they were expecting much more, but you look at that, okay? So after high school, my dad was so disappointed that he chose to write me off. In terms of, he's not paying any of your school fees. Because I had another sibling who was still in school, so he was a hope. So in another 2-3 years, I was kicked out. I was suicidal. Very suicidal. Nilikuwa nimefukuzwa ushago. So you know that rope that draws water from the borehole. So I went and untied it, and I went somewhere far. And I went far and to select a tree. You know, you guys don't understand something. If you want to commit suicide, you just don't look for any tree. You look for a tree that can support your weight. Otherwise, katanuka ukipatikana hapo utapigwa. Sindio? So I went and selected a nice tree, that could carry my weight. And I decided to commit suicide, isn't it? Don't worry, clearly I'm here, so I didn't commit suicide. Sindio? Are we together? And for some reason, ushaisimama mahali upepo ikakupiga. So a wind that was just going around came and stood in my face and told me, make a deal with God. True story. Make a deal with? And this deal, I'm like, you listen, I have really wronged my father. And it was a big deal. I don't intend to disclose now. Okay? But I told this, so we got into an argument. I cannot make a deal with God. I don't deserve it. He told me, make a deal with God. And then I was like, fine. But I said, let it be that by the age of 25, if I'll not be in my own house, living, even if it's the size of a toilet, but I'm not depending on my dad, if at 25 I'll still be struggling, I'll kill myself. And kitu tu ikaniambia, it's fine, let's go. Fast forward, at the age of 25, nilikuwa nimeanza kupiga sherehe. Mnajua mtu wa sherehe? That was my second name. And one of the days, I had gone to see a client, and every Saturday ilikuwa siku ya sherehe. But this particular Saturday, someone had been working with me. And this person had the courage to talk to people, would train people. And I had started working with him, and I'd see him, his strategy of doing business was good. So I started working with him, and he used to tell me, get saved. And I looked at him, I'm like, maybe staki yo maisha boring, yo staki. So this particular day, I had bounced off a client. So I went back to Thika, got into the house, decided to just chill and wait for the evening. How many of us here love ugali? Yeah? So my favorite food is ugali and fish, but that day I had done beef. So kupika ugali ndio nikule beef. I said, it's been a while tangu niombe. Can I just pray? I didn't have a seat, so I knelt down and I put my face to the bed. You get the point? And I said, let me pray. And let me tell you something. I went into a trance. Everything shut down. I started sweating. I started shaking. And that trance took me to that day I wanted to commit suicide. And that day, I couldn't stop crying. And God reminded me, hey, excuse me, dude, you turned 25. What was our deal? Look around, you're in your own house. Not much, but you're in your own house. And the more I listened to that voice, the more I broke down. That's how I got saved. Alone in my house. September 15th, 2017, yes. Simpigie Mungu makofi. And you're wondering how is all this related to money? And I'll tell you what. Today, some of you sit here and you're worried about your campus. You're worried about your education. You're not even sure about your parents will afford. Let me tell you something. Up to now, are you guys ready for this? This is when I'm doing my degree, my first degree. I'm in 4th year Strathmore doing marketing option. So how am I here? How am I here? Because there is a calling that God has put in my heart. And since then, I started getting connections. Can you imagine at 25, I could not stand in front of people and speak English. Ako wapi msanii alikuwa hapa? Ako wapi? Tutaenda one on one, mistari, eh? Ningekuwa msanii ni vile sina dreads, you see my... But a lot of us, thank you sir. And a lot of us are not even sure about our career. We are not sure what is enough for us. Do you guys understand the statistics that are being disclosed today? 70% of you young people want to be rich. Through hook or crook, you don't care whichever means. Ukweli ama si ukweli. Who's influencing your spending behavior? Us, it used to be our parents. Today, social media. I'm even surprised. Young people like you are in TikTok. You're in social media. You are exposed. So you guys have a lot of distractions. If I asked this guy to stand up, where did you learn that style? You saw it somewhere, isn't it? Sindio? If all of you, I tell all of you to remove your phones. Some of you even have the latest iPhones. True or not true? Under whose influence? So, why I have told you my story is for you to be able to understand that whether you have a master's degree, you're not a graduate, the principles of money are the same. And I thank God every day that I have gotten to a place. What I didn't tell you fast forward is that my life did not clear immediately after I got saved. Of course, I went through hardships. I've been in a place, those of you who've watched my TikTok videos, where I was hungry, staying in a wooden structure, and all I could eat was half a loaf of bread that used to cost 10 bob. And you eat it in the morning so that you have enough energy to last you through the day. Okay? Now, I want everybody to close their eyes. Close their eyes. Close your eyes. And I want you to focus. Try to figure out 10 years from now. Just 10 years from now. 2032. What are you seeing? Are you seeing yourself with a large family? Are you seeing yourself driving somewhere? Are you seeing yourself struggling financially? Are you seeing yourself traveling the world? Are you seeing yourself sick? Are you seeing yourself having, struggling with marriage? Open your eyes now. Do you guys see that it is not clear? Have you noticed? It is vague. You're not sure. Now you're using your imagination. And this is and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Listen. Listen to me and listen to me good. All the dreams you have are valid. Can I say that? Can I hear an amen? All the dreams you have are valid. But do you know the purpose of God in your life? If you look at the book of Ecclesiastes, and what I want to talk about today is preparing for all seasons. There are many seasons. Preparing for all seasons. Who's the richest man in the Bible? Solomon, right? We all want to be like Solomon. But are we happy with his other behaviors? So some things come with a price. And all of us, as much as we want to be Solomon, are we all going to be Solomons? Some of us could be the Lazarus. You know the Lazarus that ate from what fell from the rich man's table? Yeah? That guy was never rich. He was called who? Lazarus, isn't it? But have you been told the name of the rich man? Because it was not important. All right? So today, as we talk about money seasons, how are you prepared? I can guarantee you, if you're destined for success, if you want to build something in this life, I guarantee you, at some point, you will struggle financially. How will you maneuver? Are we together? At some point. And one of the things that even the speaker before me shared was persecution. You will go through it. But are you prepared? Are you the kind of person when you're broke unakimbilia fuliza? Hello? Angalia jirani yako kama anaumwa na hiyo maneno. Angalia kama anaumwa. Because already, and here is the truth, I'm associated with some of the departments in Strathmore University. And a little survey we did, by the time a student is getting to second year, they have been listed negatively in CRB. And we are talking about 60%, especially of the male students. 60% of the male? Boy child. Ahu? Boy child, ahu? Ni ukweli. Because we cannot understand why we need to scale down. I'll tell you, the days we were growing up, after high school, that was around, I finished high school in 2001. For you to get information, you had to go to a cyber cafe. You understand? In fact, you paid 100 shillings to the cyber person to open for you an email address. That's why my email address is very special. You call it pasi? You pay for an email address, something that you can do on your phone today. For you to get access to any information, you had to pay for it. Today, if you want to learn how to budget, do you need me here? Do you need me here? Yeah, Google how to budget and you have it. Okay? So what is the problem today? Who can guess? Yes. Spending, Who else has an idea? What yes, behind there. Msani. Too much information. Hey, jamana mistari bana. Pigeni makofi. I don't know why I'm happy to meet you, huh? I mean, it's because you have more hair than I do. Akili ni nywele lakini zangu ziko kwa mashavu. But the thing is, and what you need to understand is that there's too much information, which amounts to too much distraction. If I look on this side, I can tell you we are already on our phones, isn't it? For some reason. Even when I was here, I was trying to check out a few things and I'm on my phone. Today, you can't say keep away your phones. You can't do that, isn't it? Because even after this, I'll tell you to do something with your phones. Isn't it? But when you go to your phone, kuna msee manze ameangusha meme ingine, your favorite meme lord. Ameangusha meme, you're feeling like telling your neighbor angalia meme. You understand? Does it happen? Am I the only one who does that? I get distracted, isn't it? Alafu number 2, we are not emotionally competent to know that when my father gives me 200 shillings, there is a tomorrow. So I don't have to attach any emotions to that money, isn't it? Okay? So I want us to really focus on understanding that when it comes to money, those two things are the new gem today. How many of us here watch soccer? Watu wa Arsenal mko wapi? Inua mkono, hata mimi ni wa Arsenal. Inua mkono. Watu wa Man U. Okay, tuende haraka. Chelsea mliumwa 4. Manchester City. Now I'll tell you what, the season we went unbeaten in Arsenal. We used to have a guy called Thierry Henry. How that guy never won that ball d'Or. It's called what? Ballon d'Or. How he never won it, I don't understand. How come today Ronaldo is still priced the way he's priced? Because they no longer make them any longer like Ronaldo. True? Why is Ronaldo still playing at 30? Is it 35 or 37? Those of you who play basketball, why is LeBron James at 37? Okay, I am not a really big fan of him, but why is he playing at 37? Yes? They put a lot of effort. If you look at Messi, Ronaldo, LeBron, they've not come from a silver platter. How many of you guys have read the story of Ronaldo? How many you just see him? Very poor background. Now, the stars that you see today, who get paid and get spoiled, they don't feel like scoring, they've gone to academies. Let me tell you something. Smooth waters have never made skillful sailors. All right? And this is the challenge I'm posing to you, all of you. These things, conferences for youth, never happened in our days. True, Percy? They never happened. Someone has decided to organize this for you. I started going for events when I was employed. So this does not happen. Okay? And this is the time that you stop looking at your parents, because all of you are still dependents, isn't it? Stop looking at your parents like you're entitled. All right? Because we can have the slides running. Because this is what happens. And this is a page I use. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Next. Next. Just carry on until I say stop. Sorry guys, my connector is not... Oh, that's me, eh? Is that me or you? Good, it's working. Ipigeni makofi. I want you to ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen to your life right now? Are you seeing the options? Are you seeing my friend over here? Can you see my cursor? That's a disabled person. Msani, where is that Masani? What's your name, by the way? Huh? Mark. Park. We'll do a collab after this. GG. Anyway, what's the worst that could happen? Have you heard of people insuring their voices? You think he has insured his voice? What if something happened and he lost his voice and that is his career path? What if you're a soccer player, you're a star where you are and you lost your legs? Are you guys getting what I'm saying? If you look at this, disability can occur. You can get a pay cut, those of you who are already working, or even your parents. If today your parents got a pay cut and they moved from where? From here to Githurai Ndani, what is going to happen to you? You know, you think this thing is not a reality. There was a time I was so broke that even affording rent of 13,000 was a problem. I'm not talking about immediately after COVID. Me standing here. 13,000 is a problem and I have a family. Yeah? You see it happens. See, we've seen it happen. Isn't it? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but in case it happened, be prepared. All right? And I've seen people getting salary increases. Today, what if you got that billion that you're thinking about? Is it going to mess you up? Or is it going to be a blessing? I know we say blessings of the Lord make rich and add no sorrows, isn't it? Your time ile kiburi itakuingia, my friend. Yeah? In fact, let's get options. The guys at the back. I can see there's a guy there wearing Riders number 8. What is your favorite car? What is your dream car? Shout from there. A Jeep. Hapa katikati, I can see the lady in luminous sweater. Your favorite car, what you're thinking of driving. Yes, you, in lime. Rolls Royce. Range Rover, Here at the front, the lady in black. Land Cruiser, Kuna jamaa pale anajifanya hata nioni. Ametoa tu dread vizuri, amevaa mavini ya grey. Rolls Royce, yes sir. Prado. Ni msafiri. Na Godfather, Yeah? Ukisalimia watu kwa mcheko. Amejelezeni? Bro, if you don't say a G-Wagon, I don't like you. Omera. Oti, I'm talking about you. Iyo luku inaenda tu na G-Wagon. Stand up again. Waambie G-Wagon Mercedes. You're becoming very humble. Someone here? You, sir. Yes, you. Range gani? Sport, And finally, you, sir. In a gray, long-sleeved t-shirt. You. Mercedes Maybach. And none of our facilitators. Mwisho na mwisho. Shout from there. G-Wagon. Shikilia hii. Shikilia uzito. Thank you. Humility for who? Humility for who? Now listen, those are all nice things to have. Okay? But also, what if you get to that place where you don't even have that money? There's one thing that is totally underrated. And it is called scaling down. It's called what? And let me tell you something. One of the privileges I have is having gone through like really lack. Okay? To a point whereby, even when my dad could not get a lot of money, you would cook one meal for lunch. Na hiyo ndio mtakula supper, breakfast mkunywe chai kawaida, plain, you wait for the next lunch. Has that happened to you? Has it happened to you? And if that has happened to you, it tells you even the day in future that things are not looking well, you will not mind scaling down. When things became really bad, I sold my big car. Unajua kuna ile gari watu wanakujuanga nayo. Unaitwa nani? Jackson. Mnajua Jackson wa Prado ndio huyo. Si mnamjua? Alafu siku moja sote they sell the car. What happens? So the guys we played basketball with, I sold my car and I bought a very small car. And guess what? Those guys we play with were like, hey, Amo, umesota. Kwani nikubaya hivyo? Yet the guy does not even have a driving license. And this is what is happening to you guys. You want to dress like your friend, look at your friend. Mwambie hiyo luku imeweza. Lakini sijui kama naweza fika bei. I want all the males, all the men's, I'll call you men's, please stand up. All the men. If you're a male, please stand up. And it is good that you're seated mixed, in a mixed way. Please look at your person, the person on your left. Whether lady or man, whoever, just look at them. Tell them it is okay to say I can't afford. It is okay. And if it is a lady, mwambie, hata leo siwezi afford your lunch. Please look at them again. If it's a lady, mwambie yenyewe sioni nikifuliza. Have your seats. Men, did you die? Did you die? Kuna moja amekufa sahi. Why? Please learn that. Let me tell you something. That will go a long way. Will go a very long way. Because as men, we have one challenge. And over time, because you guys are still young, you'll understand this when you get there. Men, there are two things. We make emotional decisions and women make emotional decisions, isn't it? But on different scenarios. Okay? And we are going to look at that in our personalities. Let me have the screen back. Because there's something I call money personalities, okay? And in my money personalities, I talk about, we're not going to look at a spending plan. We're going to look at money personalities, okay? All right. There you go. Money personalities. I had someone mention a sanguine. Sindio? Who are sanguines? People who are jovial, who are happy, jumpy. They are bubbling with what? Energy, isn't it? But today, I just want us to talk about our money personalities and never forget this because it is a determining factor and it can explain why you behave the way you behave. Tumeelewana? I'll start with the minor personalities. Kuna watu wanaitwa money monks. Watu wanaitwa nini? Money monks, from the word monks. Do you know what that means? These are people, and they are not many, who because of a culture they have been exposed to, okay? And sometimes it extends to cultic organizations, Unapata mtu anachukia tu pesa. Pesa is evil, isn't it? To them, money is what? In 2011, there was a church somewhere. I won't, let me use the word quote unquote church. That these guys were told to sell off everything or to give out anything and go to a banker because the world is ending. You remember that story? The world is ending. That was 2011. Hiyo kanisa bado iko? Ama dunia iliisha? And we don't know. Tuliacho huku. So sometimes you'll find people like that. These are money monks. And sometimes based on where you are, you can tend to have one or two things about this personality. Okay? One of them, ukiangalia pale, is that you feel like if you got a lot of money, you start feeling like it's a bad thing. Please tell your neighbor, money is amoral. Say amoral. It is neither good nor... Yes. Are we together? But what you do with it is what matters. Tumeelewana? Money in itself is not what? It's about what you do with it. Are we together? So money monks have that challenge, and especially, and this is where you have to be very intelligent. You have to know how you are partnering with God in terms of your giving. Are we together? Not just giving because your neighbor is giving. Tumeelewana? So that's money monks, and then we have money avoiders. All right? Hawa ni watu who don't like anything to do with money. Okay? They don't want to have that discussion. You know why? In these hard economic times, especially if you are a man na hauna kakitu, mshahara iliisha when juzi. Alafu sasa unaambiwa nyumbani, tulisahau kununua diapers na hauna kakitu. Si utakasirika? Si utakasirika? Do you want to discuss anything to do with money? Because you don't have it, so you'll avoid that topic. And the same thing, if you look at people who live in slums and go to industrial area to work, that person will never listen to you because of the position there. They feel like the money is not enough, isn't it? So even when you don't have money, some of you may not even be enjoying this topic. Are we together? Why? Because right now you are an avoider. Okay? But the moment you start making money, you start developing interest on how to make money. Are we together? But then I like the two main personalities is money hoarder and the next one after this. Who are money hoarders? Ushaiona watu wachoyo. Sijasema mtaja watu majina. Yeah? Ushaiona watu wachoyo. You are contributing to this event. Simuli contribute. So you've paid for yourselves. But you're asking, hiyo pesa ni mingi sana. Hii kanisa, watu wa youth wanakula pesa. Yeah? That money is too much. Ndio? See, there are people who think like that. Alafu pia kuna watu, if you are working, kuna watu microwave ya ofisi. It is always smelling what they ate last night. Juu ni watu wa kubeba lunch kila time. Are we together? But now, this is what happens. This is where boy child nataka unisikize. Men, are you here? This is what happens. For men, there are areas that we are hoarders, we are stingy, and then there are areas that we are very generous. Can I tell you what? As a man, if you want to sell me anything, mention my wife, mention my kids. I will spend anything. Tumeelewana? Okay? I wish I could show you photos of my boys. Okay? That way umenipata, I will spend. Are we together? But there are areas now, because of the culture, or because of what I have seen with people, mtu anani inbox, sina food kwangu. So unajua social media, mtu anaku inbox na mashida. So those ones I normally don't offer help online. So there they will say I'm stingy. Are we together? Because my help or my partnership with God is channeled elsewhere, isn't it? So if you come to me online, I'm not sure if you're genuine. Are we together? So in that area, I will be stingy. Are we together? Ama vitu za home domestic, unaambiwa hakuna diapers, then you feel like people are spending money badly at home. What do? You become a hoarder. Are we together? And then for ladies, this is where you become spenders. Even all of you who are here, assuming all of you ladies, please, ladies, hello, hi. If all of you are working, and because you love your parents so much, yeah, you can spend anything on your parents. True or not true? And if you have a child, even if you're mtoto, like my mom, we are in April, isn't it? April is financial literacy month. And I don't know what a coincidence that we are talking about money now. Okay? But guess which month I was born? April. Okay? So my mother, I'm turning 40 this month. But to my mother, I'm turning 40. But to my mother, I'm still a child. Are we together? So if she hears I have gone through something, there's a time I had an accident. She didn't care. She came. Na mimi sikuwa nimeumia ni gari. You understand? And that's how, ladies, you're emotional. So when it comes to your children, your parents, you will be emotionally attached. And that is why we will talk about something called black tax. Something called what? You know what black tax is? What is it? It's not just family members. People who you feel indebted to. Okay? So if you come from a village, umeomoka umeenda majuu. Okay? Umeenda majuu na umeanza kazi yako. Then watu back home, they start telling you, tuma kitu, isn't it? But because you feel like, hey, those guys brought me up, they have done this, I start feeling like I'm indebted to them. You start sending money, isn't it? What happens when your income stagnates or it's not growing? Are you going to be able to avoid? Please look at your neighbor, tell them, chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Muulize kama ameshika. Chains of habit. Kuna katabia unakuaga nako. You understand? Do you know some of you are so used to fuliza that you assume it is your money? True or not true? Angalia jirani yako kama anaumwa na hiyo maneno. Look at them, see if they are getting offended. Do you know some of us are so, we have used fuliza, you think it is your money, to a point whereby I was with some young guys somewhere and they were comparing, hey, mimi niko na limit ya 15K. Mimi niko na 35K. And it is not your money. Those are chains of habit. You begin getting used to them, isn't it? You get your first job, you're still fulizaing. Are we together? Then what will happen? The day your income is not growing and now you have a family. That is why you'll find this generation of yours is giving up, committing suicide, giving up, fighting everybody, giving up, what do you call it? You're compromising on ways of making money. And that is why corruption will not end if you guys, say you guys, if you don't do something about it. Are we together? And it starts with contentment. Okay? And I started by telling all the men, you told everybody, I cannot afford. It is not that hard. When I don't have money, I tell people, you'll have to wait. If it's my children and I don't have money, I ask them, how do we afford? Are we together? All right? So we go to the last personality, which is spenders. When we go to spenders, this is where now you feel like everything nice was meant to you, for you, isn't it? Amera, excuse me. Jadala, uko sawa? Unaingia mahali you feel like iyo kofia was meant for who? For me. That car, iyo miguu ya gari, it was meant for me. But now, if you're this kind of a personality, then your tendencies to lose money is very high. Because you're easily conned. Isn't it? You're easily conned. And even when you have money, you're conned, but when you're broke, in your time unashikwa na hasira. In ndio wakati gani? Guys, have you ever noticed that when you have money, you've gotten money from somewhere, do you know your working style is even different than when you're broke? True or not true? You know, even your confidence. Your confidence is a bit. Now, how many of you ushaitumwa ukiwa na pesa mingi kwa supermarket? Let's be honest. Do you check the prices? Do you check the prices? Do you have a shopping list? Bei iko wapi? List iko wapi? List iko wapi? Kwa kichwa. Chains of habit. Those are small habits that you will not feel until it's too late. Are we together? And I will quickly run something. I will not take you through the entire budget, but I want to show you some principles that must be in place when you're thinking about a budget. Chances some of you have already started working, isn't it? Or you're interning somewhere, isn't it? But what happens? The first job unasemaga, hiyo pesa ni kidogo. Hiyo pesa ni kidogo? Yes, I can tell you something. If today I doubled your salary, it will take you 3 months to realize that it is no longer enough. And you'll start asking for more. Okay? And in that case, I want us to look at, give me the screen again. I want us to look at why I tell people, you can Google a budget anywhere, but I want to tell you something about budgeting before I go to evaluation. I want to talk about something here called budgeting. I start by telling you, just because you can pay for it does not mean you can afford it. Just because you can pay for it does not mean you can. Can I give you an example of what I'm talking about? Those of you who are working, if you have been paid today is when? 5th. Today is 5th or 4th? Huh? 5th. Huh? If today you have been paid, let's say kamshara ka, like how much hivi? Ni gani mnaona mzuri? How much? Yes. 50K. 50K na Prado, my friend. Modo wa Prado. Yeah? 50K hiyo ni fuel ya Prado pekee. But assuming 50K imeingia, si ndio? How much is a holiday for a weekend in Mombasa? Alone. It's about 20, 30K. Si ndio? For a weekend. 50K. Si utalipa hiyo holiday na ubaki na change. True or not true? Si it's cash. Ukienda kulipa ndege watakuuliza hiyo pesa umetoa wapi? Si ni mshahara yako? But you go for that trip. And then you're left with 10,000. You can pay for it, but it does not mean you can afford it. Do you guys get my point? And that is the kind of lifestyle, unfortunately, guys your age are living. Okay? Mshahara ni 50, lakini unataka kupiga sherehe na watu wanaan 300. Mtawezana? And let's even talk about Christians. Let's say hata tupigagi sherehe. You want to live a lifestyle. You want to pay rent. You're earning 50K. You want to pay rent of 40,000. Is that practical? And this is why I tell people, my budget is very simple. I have a very simple budget here. And it's actually found in my book. I'm an author as well. Siko nimewambia? I'm an author. So that budget is found here. And I tell people to stay within the percentages. So if you look around, and I'll be able to share that, and all of you will get, stay within percentages. One of the percentages is about rent. If you're paying more than 20% of rent, it's time to relocate. It's time to? Yes. So it stays within percentages. The other thing is that we feel like there is no money that is too small to invest. Ushajipata na pesa unajiuliza sasa nitaweka wapi? All right? So I tell people there is a place you can invest that money. Currently, Stanchart contacted me and they have a money market especially for young people. All right? For young people that you can start with as low as 1,000 shillings so that you form the habit of what? Growing your money market, isn't it? So I'll also share the same for your perusal. But now my budget is normally very unique. I don't know if that is clear. Is that clear? Can you guys see? If you look at the first thing you do with your money is what? Can someone read for me? Giving tithes. And listen, this is also where black tax should be put. I know we are talking from a Christian perspective. We tithe, isn't it? But do you know we end up giving more money than we had budgeted for? Earlier last week, a friend of mine lost their daughter. She had gone to India and she passed on there. And then we have a habit of guys who we used to school together, we contribute towards that particular plan, isn't it? But once you contribute the money, we say it is voluntary. All right? But because we are men in that group, and we feel like mtu akitoa 5,000, that is the limit. Men, are we together? Mtu akitoa 5,000, men tunaona hiyo ndio chances are it will not go below that limit. But who said it can't? If I have 500, I need to remove 500 comfortably. Lakini jamaa wa Prado kwanza amepark Prado hapo nje. Acha kuniangalia vibaya mtu wa Prado. Yeah? Amepark Prado lakini mbele nyuma ako na 3,000 left in the bank account and we are all removing 5,000. What will happen to him? Fully? What will happen to him? And we said, we all agreed, it is okay to say, I can't afford. From now, it is okay. So one of the things that we need to do here is know the limits. If you're giving black tax, if you're supporting a family member, let it remain in a certain percentage. Are we together? So account for what you're giving, because those of us who have worked for long, you realize fulani anafanya bridal party, bridal shower, you contribute. Mwingine amefiwa, you contribute. Mnanielewa? Does that happen? So in a month you realize umetoa 1,000 but because it is not, you're a good Christian, you're quick to tithe, but you don't account for everything else there, then you realize, kwani pesa yangu inaendaga wapi? Do you guys know that the reason why 95% of us here and globally will never be financially independent is because of one reason? We spend more than we earn. We spend more than, and that is why you'll find in the Kenyan Economic Survey, this is data collected by Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, that since 2007, Kenyan economy, per capita, we spend 102, 103, 105, 107% of our income. So meaning we are borrowing to survive. Tumeelewana? All right? So the first thing you do with the money is do what? Give out. All right? The second thing you should do with your money before you pay your rent, before you buy food, before you do your shopping, before you buy your clothes is pay yourself. Now, paying yourself is not doing your hair, my sisters. And I'm not jealous because I don't have hair. I'm just saying. Okay? Paying yourself is money that should never leave you for the rest of your life. Are we together? Let's say you are an intern. Leo, let's say you're making 15K. Please take 2,000 with your mobile app, open a money market, send that money away so that you now plan from whatever is left. We agreed that when you have money, your working style is even different. Sindio? Now that time, utakuwa ukipiga hesabu, now I only have this X amount of money remaining. Trust you me. You'll be looking at unga ya 90 bob na unga ya 92 bob. Unachukua gani? Kwa nini? 2 bob is a lot of money. You understand? So I'll give you a trick. Create an environment where your bad habits cannot survive. Are we together? Create an environment where your bad habits cannot. So the first thing you do after you've given your money, by the way, who said you have to give on Sunday? Si ukilipwa leo ni lini? Tuesday, si ndio? Kama umelipwa leo, si you tithe today. Si you have that is till number E. Eh? Ama lazima watu waone ukitembea kutoa offering. You know, Kenyans, oh my goodness. Lazima watu waone mtu ukitembea. Let me tell you something. For me, if I get money today and I've done my math, I'll tithe today. I don't care what people say. Ni ukweli ama si ukweli? Because if I know myself, I know. Because the more tunakaribia Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday imeisha, umetumia pesa hapa, Sunday, Saturday jioni ndio unajiuliza, Pastor, hiyo swali tunaulizanga. Do I tithe from there? Do I tithe from the gross or from there? Because saa hiyo unaanza kunegotiate. This is what happens when you compromise your money habits. Utaanza kucompromise kila kitu. Si lazima nitoe hiyo offering, si ndio? In fact, niko na dhao kwa mfuko, acha kwanza nitoke nje nitafute change, then I come back. Are you seeing the compromise? So if you've been paid today, go to your phone, pay what needs to be paid, throw it to investments, yenye itabaki. Yenye itabaki ndio utatumia vile inafaa, si ndio? And this is what happens. You create an environment where your bad habits cannot survive. And this is why you realize those people who have money, the biggest challenge they have is having too much what I call disposable cash. Kama umelipwa leo na hata hujafikiria kupeana. If I tell you, pasi, si nyi mmelipwa leo, si tunalipagwa leo pia lakini pesa yetu imechele? Sijui kama unajua story vile inaendaga. Pesa yetu haijaingia lakini najua watu wa finance wana organize. So by kesho saa 8 pesa yetu itakuwa imeingia. So pasi si unipatie kama 5k nitakurudishia. Nasikia mtu amecheka pale juu. You're guilty of that, isn't it? Pesa yetu itaingia leo, kesho saa 8 itakuwa imeingia, si ndio? What happens? Kesho saa 8 inafikanga in installments, si ndio? You know, I'm telling you stories that I have seen practically and things I've done myself. So what do? Instead of having that disposable cash pasi, the moment account pesa imeingia, quickly do your time. If you're supporting people, quickly remove it. If you're doing investments, remove the investments. Ile pesa itabaki kwa hiyo account yako, utakuwa ukijiuliza, how are we going to survive? Because we have too much money, too much month at the end of the money. You get what I said? Too much month at the end of the... Yani pesa imebaki kidogo lakini mwezi ni kubwa. We have like a whole, and you know January has 90 days. You understand? And that is what happens. So there is no major complicated way of dealing with your finances. And I'm talking especially to you men. Because hii mambo ya kukaa na pesa ni shida. You know, back then in 2001, we had simu ya jamii. You know, mobile phones had just come. There was something called simu ya jamii, okay? And Safaricom had a competition for ladies who had simu za jamis. So one lady won a brand new Mercedes Benz. A brand new? From DT Dobby. That time the price was 5 million. Okay? And she decided to sell the car for less and she got the money. 8 months later, she had been divorced, kicked out, and the guy had remarried. Meaning, if you're not ready for big cash, I tell God, one of my biggest fears. I asked you what is the worst that could happen? My worst fear is to get so much money that I had not planned for. Because I know I'll lose my head. Trust you me. I look composed. Sindio? I look like I have everything. Mutanijua hiyo time. At you give me $1 billion, 5 billion in my account. I'll even be telling guys, a conference like this, come on, we let it Sankara and above. Sikuzi Eastlands. I have potential kukuwa na kiburi. And that's why I tell God, give me small steps. Okay? And because you guys, let me tell you something. Because we don't understand what making money is all about. How much money do you need? Ask your neighbor, how much money do you need? How much money is enough for you? How much money is enough for you? Ask them. Uko anasema ngapi? That's a very good question. I'll answer that later, but let me hear the amounts. Shout an amount. Amesema nini? $1 billion. Huyo mtu wa G-Wagon, nimeona sasa yako na kakiburi. Msanii wetu pale? How much? No number. Yes, madam. You look upset. Mbona unakaa umekasirika? Uko na fuliza mingi? Anyway, I'm kidding. How much money do you think is enough for you? For you? 1,000. Sai, unataka thou? Unataka thou? Unataka thou? Aha, I like that answer. Pale, watu wa TikTok. This guy is very happy. The one in a blue, white t-shirt. How much money is enough for you? You're happy, man. How much money is enough for you? 1 billion. Are you getting the ranges? One said 1,000, 1 billion. 250. 250 billion. Hey, mtu wa Prado huyu. This side. Hey, Buddha umechangamka. Uko. At how much? How much? 1 billion. Please look at the same neighbor. Tell them, being rich is not a goal. Being rich is not. Simuniulize mimi nataka pesa ngapi? Just 20 million shillings. That's the thing. Now you have to differentiate. You have to ask yourself what you want. Is it a seed or is it feed? Does it make sense? Ni chakula ama ni mbegu? Ask your neighbor that. Because that will determine the amount. And she could be very right. There could be a business ameambiwa. Ukileta hizo vitu. And she needs probably 1,000 for that capital. Isn't it? To do that business. So today, if you give her 1,000, she has sorted it out. I'm suspecting the guy who's saying lots of money, you are thinking from a point of consumption. Ni kweli? But what is the beauty of getting so much money? When you asked where you made your money, hauna hata story. Can you imagine if I told you guys, if I came here, I gave you theories, and I have never been broke? Your story ingeshika kweli? Sini food ina salt. Are we together? I tell people, and this should be your principle. Whatever you're going through, whether it's plenty or you're going through lack, someone needs that story tomorrow. Kweli si kweli? We like quoting Philippians 4:13. Someone project for me if you have Philippians 4:13. Pigeni jamaa wa Prado makofi. I can do? But under what context? Because the previous 2 verses, Paul is telling the Philippians, and this is the beauty about it. I am not saying this because I have enough. Okay? Okay? I am speaking this because through lack and through plenty, I have learned the art of contentment. The art of what? Therefore, I can do all things through Christ who? So if you want to do all things through Christ, please be prepared to go through a dry season and a good season. Because even the good book tells us in Ecclesiastes, is it 13? That there are seasons for everything. All right? There are seasons for? So create an environment where your habits cannot survive. So when you look at my budget and you look at you creating an environment where your bad habits cannot survive, you will now, because you don't have disposable cash. Unaangalia hiyo pesa imebaki ni kidogo. So even if I come to borrow you that money per se, you will say, honestly, I don't have that money. Are we together? And here is the truth about life. If per se, for instance, has done a good budget like that one, ametoa pesa ya tithe, akatoa ya investments, amebaki na yake ya kusurvive. Amejifinyilia ama hajajifinyilia? Si amejifinyilia? But saseme mimi niseme nikuje and I decide I'm not saving, I'm not investing, I'll just spend my money the way I want. The truth is, because we are both employed, we will still be broke at end month. Ni ukweli ama si ukweli? We both won't have money. But it's only a matter of time that we see he's building up, I am not. Are we together? So in a quick personal evaluation, I want you to open a clean page on your tablet or on your phone, or just do it as a list. And kila mtu inua mkono, say I. Sema jina yako, say I. I choose to forgive Amos for anything that he says that will offend me. I forgive him in advance. Amen. So the exercise we are about to do sometimes can be painful. All right? Because the first time I did it, I was offended because of the results that I got. So I quickly want you to split your page into two. The left side, right assets. The left side, right liabilities. Quickly. Draw a line between, split your page into two. It's like a T account. Tunajua mambo ya T account. Okay? So I want you to quickly write the things you own, assets. Now, okay, listen. I know I normally run this exercise with even older people, and I tell young people, hapo kwa assets, jifanye busy. Look like you're calculating your assets. Look very busy. Sawa sawa, hapo kwa assets, look very. In fact, ask for your friend to give you a calculator. Sindio? So, always make sure that you know what you have. Are we together? And it runs from tushamba, to ploti, business capital, jewelry, not your phone. Don't put your phone there. Because ukipatana na wale wase, si unajua saa umeenda, sindio, you're down to zero. So things that you can, especially business assets, if you have inherited something, or you have agricultural produce somewhere, put it there, isn't it? So do you understand now what assets are? Haya, twende pande ingine kwa madeni. Okay? And this is what is breaking my heart. For young people today, they don't have assets. Lakini madeni. Karibu tuwaite Dennis nyinyi wote. Your dad joke imeingia? Imeingia? You understand? And specifically, you may not have a mortgage, right? You may not have a bank loan, right? You may not have a mortgage loan, sindio? But please put that digital loan that you have there. Now, usianze kuniuliza branch gani. Some of you missed that joke. So if you have a digital loan, Fuliza, whichever, just put it down there. And some of you realize that your net worth is negative because you're deni. Are we together? And especially men. Najua kuna wanaume wanaketi pale, mnaniangalia tu like you're very busy na mnajua vizuri. Right? And this is what is happening. Let me tell you something. In 10 years, I told you guys to close your eyes and tell me what will happen or where you're seeing yourself in 10 years, isn't it? If you continue with the same habit of borrowing to spend, now you'll not just be having those digital loans. You'll be having auctioneers on your neck. You'll be having mortgages that you are unable to pay because of your bad habits now. Listen, things don't go wrong. They start wrong. Things don't go, they start what? Wrong. So if you start your career or you start your life with debt, trust you me, you have to learn how to manage debt now. All right? You have to know how to manage debt, and you have to know how to do it. So those of you who have negative net worth, because that is how much you're worth. I know you're a child of God. I know you're worth more than rubies. You're worth much more. But financially, wacha tuambiane ukweli. Hauna kitu. Hauna kitu. If anything, you're negative. Ni ukweli? Si nimekuambia mmenisamehea, so naweza ongea vile ninataka. You already forgave me. Si ndio? But financially, hauna nini? Hauna kitu. So as you grow, you'll advance that balance sheet. You learn how to calculate what is coming and what is going out. Isn't it? All right? I don't want us to go very deep, but I want us to share something here before we conclude. I wanted us eventually to look at investments with a purpose. I wanted us to look at investments with a purpose. There we go. Yes, there we go. Now, I know, and I like what our Msani said about investments. There is too much information, isn't it? Do you know, all of you here, and believe you me, I'll end up learning more from you guys than you learn from me. True or not true? The only thing you can learn from me is my mistakes. You guys are faster in terms of thinking. You guys are more creative. You guys are more resourceful. You guys are more energetic than we are. True or not true? But what is the challenge? There is too much information. And if you don't sieve that information to what works for you, okay, you are going to trip. You're going to mess yourself up. I'm from a meeting from a very, so if you see us running throughout the country promoting financial literacy, it's courtesy of someone who saw me on IG and they decided to inbox me. A very big company. They want to sponsor Money Gossip. Situmsifu bwana. And one of the things that person told me, their regional directors, is actually a German. They are like, here we don't hire degrees. We hire people who have a fighting mentality, people who are creative, even with diplomas. And they pay people well. Are we together? So if you're thinking your degree is your wealth creation or it's your channel to make wealth, start refocusing on your life. Start asking God, why is it that I'm going through what I'm going through? What is my purpose? Are we together? I told you I'm doing marketing, but I'm a financial coach. Okay? There's a reason why they selected me over other people who even have PhDs. All right? So one of the things that I tell people is that these are some of the investments that you can get yourself into, isn't it? But can you see, on this side, there is the money market. We all know what a money market is. All right? I'm assuming. Do you know what a money market is? And you're in the information age. My bro, I like your phone. Google for us quickly. I'll give you a mic to explain what a money market is. Google on your phone, quickly. Yes, what a money market is. In a very simple statement. A mic will be coming your way. But as he Googles it, you'll find there is a saving societies, what we call SACCOs. We know real estate, isn't it? We know housing, middle income for middle income earners, entrepreneurship. We understand what pension is all about, isn't it? So have you Googled it? Found it? Hey, you should be faster, my friend. And you look like a professor in your glasses. So, what normally happens, these are just some of the investments that you can get yourself into. But guess what? Are these the only investments available today? What else do you know? There's forex trading, isn't it? What else? Someone said bitcoins. It is happening in the world, isn't it? So there's a lot of information. But listen, if you'll ever pick anything from me, pick this from me today. Are you ready? It is not for you to go and look for an investment outside there to know what to do with it. It is for you to pick the goals that you want to achieve, then look for a vehicle that will take you there fastest and the most effective way. Am I making myself clear? All right? Because I could be on my first job, alafu nikimbilie bitcoins. Will I pay fees with my bitcoins? It's a high risk, isn't it? So I might want to stay in it for longer or risk money that I can afford to lose. So I tell people, it is for you to identify the purpose. Are you seeing this? The purpose on this side. Are you seeing school fees, housing, retirement, passive income? This is my goal. I don't want to be using my main income to be paying fees for my boys. I want to get to a point whereby fees inajilipa from other sources. Do you understand? Is that a goal? You understand? So being rich is not a goal, is what I can do with that money. Are we together? So my goal is for these kids to do what? To be able to go to school without having to spend my money. And that is very also practical, because what if I'm not there? Ama, you think you guys, you think you're here permanently. So you've lost people along the way. So that is one. Number two, housing. You want to make sure that your family is in a good state, isn't it? Add a holiday there, an annual holiday. All right? Okay? And then add something like retirement. Listen, boy child, aho? Please look at your fellow boy child. Mwangalie tu haraka haraka. Please tell them retirement will hit you harder than it will hit the ladies. Gentlemen, lack of preparation for retirement will hit you harder than it will hit her. Niwaambie kwa nini? Hiyo ni ukweli ama si ukweli? Because children tend to take care of their mothers better than their fathers. And especially men, if we don't make those wise decisions. Okay? And you know, women especially, just look at your mothers. Just look at your mothers. When women are doing something, wanaenda chama, si kuna ile chama, do you know they contribute equally? Are you aware? They contribute towards that cup of tea that they will take. Sindio, does that happen to men? If 5 men decide, let's tuende tukakule nyama, chances are ni mmoja ama wawili watalipa hiyo bill. Because of flexing. Sindio? So our expenses are way higher in terms of entertainment than they are for the ladies. All right? So we must be very careful. Listen, and listen to me well. When it comes to money, men, we are the leaders. Please let that sink in your head, in your stubborn head. You are the leader. And as a leader, decisions are made. Good decisions, bad decisions, but you have to be responsible for those decisions. Are we together? So if you are stuck in debt, that digital debt, please don't go the Kenyan way. Kuzima simu na kutoa battery. Okay? Take responsibility. Pay that debt. Dawa ya deni ni kulipa, si kuombewa. Hello? You know, Pasi, even if Pasi loved you like how, he cannot lay hands on you, deni ishe. You have to pay, isn't it? So you have to be, so for men, retirement is a big priority. And when should you start thinking about retirement? The day you start working. Are we together? Now, I would like us to stand up. Tusimame vizuri. Now, guys in this side, I want you to give me permission. Okay? I want you to quickly give me 15 people. No, who are more? I'd like you to give me 7 people who you know are strong-minded. Quickly, 7 people from this side back then. Just 7. Now from here, coming this way, all the way to even the facilitators. You guys give me one person who is strong mentally. Akuja hapa mbele. All right? Here, give me 4. From here, give me 4. From here, give me 4. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Quickly, quickly. How many do we have? Come quickly. Give me 4 here. If you don't give me 4, I'll handpick myself. Omera, come here. You come here. 2 more. Come. Kuja, mtu wa Prado. I want us to be 15, quickly because of the space. Now, how many are we? How many are we? Just do one line. I want to make sure we are 15. Just 15. Okay, now listen to me and listen to me carefully. Yeah? We really need God. Did you guys get my story? Now, do you think I'd be here if it wasn't for God? Now, do you think you guys would be getting the stories I'm giving you if it wasn't for God? And once God wants to use you, he will use you as long as you're willing. Lakini kuna changamoto. Kuna nini? Now you have had a good talk with Amos. I'm not sure if it is good. Was it good? But now do you think things will be easy like that? You think it is going to be a soft ride? There will be obstacles, isn't it? So I want you to cheer these guys up. See, you cheer them. Allah. Come closer. And I want them to do for us an exercise. These guys represent us, isn't it? Now the exercise, we are just going to count up to 30. Up to? And then we are done. See there? So we have put 15 adults on stage to count up to 30 alafu ende nyumbani. How cool is that? It's awesome. But do you think I'd just put 15 guys here to count up to 30 with nothing? There must be a twist to it, isn't it? Can I add a twist? So what these guys are going to do for us is that they are going to count up to 30, isn't it? So we count to 15, then we start all over again from 16 all the way to 30, isn't it? And once we are done, we go home or to the next event. But now, life is not as easy. Okay? Is it as easy? So we are going to add a twist. Every time there is a 3, so it's 1, and now you guys, you have to shout so that they can hear you, isn't it? So when you say 1, 2, so instead of saying 3, you clap. Are we together? You clap, and you don't say 3 and clap at the same time. You just clap, you don't say 3, isn't it? Then at 4, 5, and where there is a multiple of 6, of 3, sorry, you clap, isn't it? So you're clapping at 3. Go with me. 6. I said wherever there is a 3, so 13 you clap. Multiple of 3 and wherever there is a. So let's start again. We clap at. Yeah? Ati? Kuna watu wako. Say it loudly. 18. Okay. You're sure you don't clap at 28? It's not a multiple of 3. What is 8 times 3? What is 9 times 3? And what is 9.5 times 3? See, it's not 28. Okay, are we ready? So we do it. Hey, you guys, cheer them up. Now I must warn you. I must warn you. But because I'm generous, the groups I have trained is only 2 groups that have gotten it right. So in that case, I'll give them 10 chances to do that. 10 chances. You think they will ruin the 10 chances? In fact, form like an oval so that it's I'm between there so that now I go around with the. Come closer. It's a circle but an oval so that it is spread nicely. Okay? Do you think these guys will hack? And now there's a danger. Now the thing is, the 2 groups, all of them have been your age. The older group struggle. Are we together? So are we ready? Are you guys ready? All right, so let's go.
1, 2,
4, 5, 7,
8, 10.
Did you see the confidence which he has said? He has clapped. 10. So how many chances gone? 1 gone. How many to go? 9. We start from here. Okay, let's go.
1, 2, 3.
So how many chances are gone? Now listen. You are flowing with me because I'm giving you a mic. Just because I've given you a mic, that does not make it right. Nyukweli, please remember the rules. I'm telling you, you guys have too many distractions. This guy got distracted because I gave him the mic. So I'll not give them a mic. Each one will shout. Are you ready to shout? Are we together? So that I'm not the distraction. Are we? Okay. How many chances to go? 8. Let's go. Start again. No, you start again. 1. Loudly.
1,
Uh-huh.
2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11.
Are you telling me you guys cannot count to 30? Yeah, we are going to 30. Do you guys feel like we need to replace some people here? But that is the reality. You cannot replace life. These were your own choices. So you live with your choices. If I were you, I'd be encouraging them right now. And you guys need to start working as a team so that you remind each other. How many chances to go? Now listen. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. Can you feel the pressure is mounting? Can you feel the pressure is mounting? You will get at a place in life whereby there is too much pressure. Are we together? There's too much pressure. For those of us who are married and you have families and you're not sure where the income for tomorrow is coming from, that is what you go through. But remember the rules. Are we together? So 7 to go. Are we ready? Are we ready, team? Where were we? Look at all of you. Nervous. All of you are nervous. Just because of counting to 30. Tulikuwa hapa. So we start again. We start at 1, isn't it? Are we ready? And you shout, Let's go.
1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8,
10, 11.
13. He said 13. Now, what do you think is happening? Ulitoka hapa, you paid for the conference, Harvest Conference. Na ukalipia financial literacy. And Pasi told your parent you are very attentive. But ukatoka hapa nje, mtu akakupatia 2,000. Or you earned your first 2,000. And you started making those decisions that you're making. So how many chances to go? 6 to go. Umeona life si rahisi? Are you guys getting what I'm saying? So let's start again. How many to go? So 6 to go. Now, this is what happens. We have noticed someone has dropped the ball twice, isn't it? What do? You have friends who are making financial mistakes every time they get paid. All right? Why don't we shift him? We see if we can change the environment and we put them to a bit of flow. Please talk to him. Are we together? Let's see if that will help, isn't it? Because we know his habits. Tunajua pesa yake end month. Sindio? Tunajua huyo ni mtu wa fuli. So if you are contributing something, we make sure, boss, kama hauna pesa tuambie, you can contribute less. Is that okay? Do you guys understand why the importance of this activity? So we have 6 to go. All right? So we start with him again. So we start here. Are we together? Now don't panic, please. Look at his face. It is okay. All right? It is okay to make mistakes. Take your time. Are we together? We start again. Let's go. 13. So 5 chances to go. Now, listen. Who can tell me? No. I love this. Can you see some of your body language? You're like, sasa huyu alienda hapo juu kufanya nini? Wewe uko hapo unafanya nini hapa chini? Let me tell you something. Hold it. Do you know there are people who will be ahead of you, not because they are more qualified than you, but because they took a chance. Are we together? I am telling you, I see people we schooled with, people who go to places, and I look at them. They are way ahead. And they keep looking up to, they tell you, hey, I love your stuff. I live by your stuff. Yet they are way ahead of you because they took a chance. You have no right to be mad at anyone here. You have no right. Are we together? And listen, the book of James tells us, be careful. Oh, be careful. If you feel you're walking right. Because the enemy is not your boyfriend, the enemy is not your girlfriend, the enemy is walking around to devour you. Tumeelewana? So can we support them instead of sneering? Mwache kuuliza kajamaa kaprado kanaenda kufanya nini pale. As the same thing, kuna watu utaona wakitumia pesa vibaya na wataki waambie kitu. All right? So can we have 5 chances to do. But because I like these guys, because they're energetic, I'll give them 1 tip. Can I give them 1 tip? I told them the rules. Did I say you must do it fast? Did I put in the time aspect? So can we slow down? If you're not sure, stay quiet, refer. And he did well. He did well. He did very well. When he said, you said what? Was it 12? He said 12, but he looked at you, but you never waited for him to speak. Are we together? So slow down. Yeah? Most? Are we together? And you see, the good thing is that when you have people around you, you can always know how to get guidance, isn't it? All right? So slow down. And we will go slowly. Can we go slowly? Go with my indicators, isn't it? Let's go. So we go to 24. I want you to notice something. Hold on. I want you to notice something. He is the one who helped him previously. But, and this is a challenge to even your Christian walk. Never ever feel like you're better than anybody else. Because you start focusing on the wrong things other people are doing, you focus that you also get there, isn't it? Are we together? Now, he was of goodwill. Amemsaidia sana. But when it got to him, he forgot to follow the flow, isn't it? Guys, this is a true reflection of how life will be. Are we together? So how many chances to go? 3. You've missed? That was the 6th time. Yeah. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. And furthermore, the referee's confusion is final. Sindio? So 3 chances. Now, another tip I'll give them. Tell them, everybody say manageable pieces. Let me tell you something. Even if you are in debt and you stop, to first of all, the first thing you're supposed to do is to stop getting yourself deeper into debt, isn't it? So we are going to start celebrating small victories. We are going to start what? Small victories. So all we are going to do, we will count 1 to 5. Once we get to 5, we pause, we celebrate. Am I making sense? Once umemaliza hako kalimit kako kafuliza ka 1500, stop and subscribe to it and celebrate. Show me how you celebrate. Okay. So we get back here. Pressure is mounting. Yeah? You will be the first if you dare fail me. You'll be the first. So we are just getting to 5. So where are our 5? Where are we starting? We are starting from here. So 5 ends here. Isn't it? So we get here, you don't say anything. We celebrate if they get it right. Does that make it easier? It makes it easier, isn't it? Are we ready? Are we together? You're starting from 1. Let's go. Wapigeni makofi. I am sure all of you are wondering, you would never find yourself celebrating because you are counting to 5. Huh? So just humble yourself, we will get there, isn't it? So from here we start from 6, isn't it? 7, 8, 9, 10, isn't it? Up to here. Who's clapping? Who's clapping? So we are starting from 6, isn't it? So you're clapping. And who else is clapping? Are we together? So our target is to get to 10, isn't it? Can we go? Let's go.
7, 8, 10.
Tumetoka kwa? So we are saving in our circle and we have a whooping 10,000 shillings, isn't it? So now we move from here to get to halfway. Up to here, isn't it? You said what? 10. So we are starting 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, up to here, isn't it? So who's clapping? Decide quickly. Agree amongst yourself. Are you sure? Now, so who has messed us before? The two of them, isn't it? Please confirm they are doing the right thing. Mother Goose in action. Yeah? Are we ready? Okay. So are we ready? Are we ready? So we move from 11 to 15, isn't it? Let's go. Hey, we are halfway, guys. Do you think these guys will take us home? Are you sure? So from here to here, isn't it? That's 5. So we are getting to 20. So we start from 16. So you're clapping at 16? 6? There's a 6 there. Huh? Okay. So we are ready? Everybody knows what to do. So 20 is where? Here. Okay? Are you ready? Hey boss, utaumwa na masopul. This guy is too serious. Hapa. Are we ready? Let's go. Hey. So we get to 25. From here to here, isn't it? We get to 25. You know who's clapping and who's not? We hauko hapo, songa hivi. Mzee wa Prado. Songa hivi. So we are getting to 25. Okay? Are you seeing, guys? We are doing it in manageable. But still be careful when you think you're okay. So we go 26. Oh, we go to 21, isn't it? Are you ready? Let's go. 25. So we are getting to 30. So these are the last 5. And we can see who is in the lineup. Yeah? Yeah? Mtu wa Prado amevuta hard break. Are you okay, sir? Are you guys feeling the pressure? Eh? And you're not even here. That is called decision making. Are we together? So are we ready? Are we ready? You guys are not ready. Are you ready? Now I want you to shout. Whether you're clapping, you clap loud. If you're shouting, you shout it. Isn't it? Are we ready? 1, 2, 3.
26, 28, 29.
All right, have your seats. Wapigeni makofi tena. And that is how we spend a whole 15 minutes counting up to 30. And that is a good example of how the journey with money comes in. You have to be emotionally competent to know that I am not looking at my neighbor's mistakes, isn't it? I am focusing on my own. And also strong enough to shut the noise around you. You understand? There's too much pressure for you to adjust what people are thinking. Yet you're your own man, isn't it? Emotional competence. Number 2, managing distractions. All right? And now, because of that, my time is up. I'd like to thank you for the invite. And I just want to pick from each group something that you can go and start applying now, what you have learned. All right? Here, someone? Anybody? Feedback? This side. Something that you have picked. Yes, sir. How to manage your distractions. You're repeating after me. This side, someone who was here. Yes, sir. Too much information? Okay. Unnecessary stuff happening. Yes, madam, you are here. Oh, the two of you are here. Any of you shout what you feel like you'll go and apply now? Thank you, mpigeni makofi. It is okay to say you cannot afford. All right? And this other side, facilitators. Just because you can pay for it doesn't mean you can I can afford it. Now, two things I want to give you guys. Some of you being students, you get pocket money, isn't it? Become an investor now. All right? And how you become an investor, you don't go and start putting in money somewhere, isn't it? Teach yourself stuff. Okay? Teach yourself stuff. Subscribe to channels. Those of you who we haven't interacted, Instagram pages, Instagram is what? Money Clinic. Okay? Money Clinic, you can't miss it. You will see my face all over that page. Okay? Learn one or two things. Listen to videos. Not just me. Buy books. I'm an author, yes. And thank God Naivas have now decided to stock my book. But if you want a signed copy, get it from me. It's 1,000 bob. Subscribe to stuff that will help you, isn't it? And above all, there's a lot of information. Percy, I'll share with you a link for a money market fund. If you're on Android, there's an app from Standard Bank that you can actually be able to download and also set up a money market fund as little as 1,000 bob and see how you can test it, isn't it? See how it works. And also for trading in stocks, learn something, isn't it? Let's not kazi yako si kuangalia memes saa yote, ama? Isn't it? So I'll end by saying this. As you earn, because some of you are destined to be billionaires, hello? And some of you are destined to be storytellers like me, all right? Don't just count your money, okay? Make it count, all right? So thank you so much. Where is our MC? Thank you so much, and my time is over. May God bless you, and I'm happy to be here, and I think I'll be back because of the energy here, all right? So thank you so much.